Hi, everybody. Good Friday night to you, and welcome to VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County baseball. And in District 24 5A, it simply does not get any better than this. Tonight's matchup, the Kempner Cougars taking on the Foster Falcons. I'm Roger Smith. Glad you're with us. We'll be back to bring you the Batter Up Show, starting with a visit with the head coach of the Foster Falcons. He's been there for 15 years. He's Mick Tosh. And we'll be right back with that. This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And we're also brought to you by First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the spring. First Tire and Automotive has locations in First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. And all four of those locations are open on Saturdays. For the best prices on tires, go to firsttireandauto.com. We'll be right back with Coach Mick Tosh of Foster when we continue on VypeFortBend.com.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
Welcome to the Batter Up Show. This is VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County baseball, and it's a great matchup. We've been waiting for this one for a long time as the Foster Falcons come in here to take on the Kempner Cougars, two teams that have become district rivals. It's time to talk to Mick Tosh, the 15-year head coach of the Foster Falcons. And whenever the UIL realigns and new districts are put together, you kind of wonder what's going to happen. This really has become an excellent rivalry even after one game, don't you think?
Oh, yes, it is. And, you know, it's a shame that we really haven't played each other a whole lot, considering how close we really are. So, yeah, the UIL did us a favor of putting us in here with Kempner, and it's a good quality program. And like I said before, we don't have to travel far to play somebody of quality.
Well, let's sum up the game from Tuesday night. I mean, I wasn't there. I was broadcasting another game, but I saw that it was tough and tight. You go to your final at bat down by 2 runs. You did get 1 run across the plate, and you also had an outfield relay where one of your runners was thrown out at the plate. What do you feel like you might have left on the field, and what did your team do well in that one?
Brett threw strikes. Brett did a good job of throwing strikes that game. We've struggled this year with some of our pitchers throwing strikes, so I'll give it to Brett for doing so. And we had 10 hits. We just didn't have 10 hits at the right time on Tuesday night. So hopefully tonight we can string we can string hits together instead of just one at a time, so to speak.
And the Brett he refers to is Brett Bermudez, who had the complete game and gave up the 4 runs in the 4-3 defeat. So who is going to be starting on the mound for you tonight?
Tonight we have senior Tanner Harmoning throwing.
So I know that you can't tell us too much, and if you did, you'd have to kill me. But what can you tell us about what Harmoning's strengths are?
Tanner's got a really good fastball, and if he's on, his off-speed, his curveball is really good as well. So and he's a big kid too. So I'm anxious to get him back on the mound.
And anything about Kempner that you did not expect that you saw in that first game?
Well, no. I from what I've heard, they were real scrappy. They put together great at bats, and they played great defense against us. So hopefully tonight we can find green grass instead of their gloves.
All right. Well, it's great to talk to you. That's Mick Tosh of Foster, and here's what I'd love to do. I would love to cover a game between Kempner and Foster in the playoffs.
Oh, that sounds
Wouldn't it be great if you just kept winning until you ran back into each other?
Oh, heck yeah, that sounds like a winner to me too.
All right. Thank you very much, Mick Tosh, and good luck tonight. And we'll be back with more of the Batter Up Show, and we'll talk to Eric Folkerts of Kempner, whose team is playing for a share of first place. Welcome back to Kempner and the Batter Up Show, as it's one of the biggest district baseball games that they played at Kempner in at least a couple of years, because we pretty much lost last year. And it's time to talk to Eric Folkerts. You know, I talked to Coach Tosh about the new rivalries that are created when you have... Oh, who am I kidding? You know, if you look at your clock right now, if you're listening to the live broadcast, it's only 6:52. We should be 8 minutes before the beginning of the ball game. But we've already got the Kempner Cougars out there with Nate Jacobson throwing his warm-up pitches, so it's too late to bring you the Radio Gold interview with Coach Eric Folkerts. And I guess maybe it has a little something to do with the weather being a little bit threatening. They want to get this game in as quickly as they can. I guess I should have started the Batter Up Show sooner. And I'm going to try to take a deep breath, and we'll just go from here, and we will make it a great broadcast. I'm Roger Smith. Glad you're with us. It is Kempner and Foster, and on the field for the Kempner Cougars, it'll be Nate Jacobson. He's their right-handed pitcher who finished off the game on Tuesday night, which Kempner won by a score of 4-3. Now we got to give you the Foster lineup real fast. Lee Kubash, the third baseman, leads off. Hayden Holchak in left field, bats second. Batting third, it's catcher Luke Capel. Ryan Talley is the second baseman. And I'll tell you the rest momentarily because, well, Lee Kubash is in the batter's box. Kubash batting .356 on the season. He has 10 RBIs. Good at drawing walks, and he swings at the first pitch. Hard ground ball to Peter Garcia at third base, across to Rice Reichart, and there's the first out. One pitch, one away for your Kempner Cougars. So here comes Hayden Holchak, and we'll give you the Kempner defensive alignment as soon as we get a chance. A lot of things happened in that big game on Tuesday, and we'll weave them into the broadcast. Jacobson first pitch to the right-handed swinging Hayden Holchak is a strike at the knees. Holchak, a .302 hitter with a .422 on-base percentage. 0-1, and Jacobson works quickly. He delivers the one that just misses the outside corner. Drew Walker is the catcher. Ross Reichard at first. Cody Cuffle at second base, Anthony Marino at short, and Peter Garcia at third. The outfield in a moment. The 1-1 pitch is a line drive into center field for a base hit. I mean, to straightaway center, and Hayden Holchak is on. The rest of that lineup, Sam Hardcastle bats fifth and plays shortstop. Coleman Biggs is the DH, batting in place of the starting pitcher Tanner Harmoning. Jackson Lowe is at first base. In the 8th spot, it's Jacob Ardoin in right field, and Chase Cloud, the center fielder for the Foster Falcons. We started early, and the first pitch is a check swing. Luke Capel up there. He's the catcher for Foster, and he was thrown out trying to score in the bottom of the 7th in that 4-3 Kempner victory the other night. Jacobson throws over to first base, and Reichard applies the tag to Hayden Holchak. So what is Capel capable of? .385 average. He's got 16 RBIs on the season. Jacobson comes set, brings it, and it's a high pop-up in the air. Walker is pointing at it, Cuffle calling. Now it's Marino right behind second base, makes the catch, 2 away. You know, I often wonder, and I'm not picking on Drew Walker, but sometimes you're pointing at the ball, hoping your teammates will react to that, but aren't they pretty much looking up in the sky? Hayden Holchak is still at first, And there's a throw over to make sure he doesn't take too big of a lead. Ryan Talley now stands in. He's got 2 homers on the season, so look out for the power of Talley. He's got a .468 slugging percentage, and he's still waiting for the first pitch as there was another throw over. When we get a chance, we will recap just how the drama unfolded on Tuesday night when Kempner won at Foster 4-3. There's a pitch down and away for a ball. Ball 1 to Ryan Talley. So it was Nate Jacobson who came in and got the save, throwing 1 2/3 innings on Tuesday night to support Rick Reichart. Rick Reichart was an actual Major League ball player. Ross Reichart, whom I've known for years. I don't know why I messed up the name. He was the starting pitcher on Tuesday night and got the win after throwing 5 1/3 innings through 92 pitches, scattered 7 hits, gave up 2 runs, struck 1 out, and walked 4. And Jacobson saved it for him. It's a 1-1 count, and the pitch bounces in, and that's going to be a Holchak stolen base because it bounced in front of Walker. He couldn't catch it cleanly. Good read there by Holchak. And he hustles on down to second base. And the count is 2-1 on Talley as the pitch was called a ball. And Ryan Talley batting .323 with runners in scoring position, and one has just moved into scoring position for him. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch by Jacobson, and it's a weak grounder toward first base. It's going to be trouble. Reichart turns, throws, and they get the third out. Jacobson hustling over, just like you practice it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times before you play your pre-district schedule. So, for Foster, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll be back with more. Bottom of the first coming up. Kempner coming to bat.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number 1, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
I have a question.
Are you ready? Ready for anything? Ready for what life throws at you? at your kids.
Are they ready to study, to research, to write papers?
To do all the amazing things they don't even know they're capable of yet.
And what about you?
Yeah, you.
Are you
Hello?
ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Ready to take...
All right, folks. I don't know what that technical problem was, but you didn't hear me for a minute, and I can tell you that Anthony Marino reached. He's at first base. And here is actually Cody Cuffle reached. He's at first base, and now Anthony Marino is in the batter's box. How did Cuffle get on? Thank you. That's my buddy Lance Fegley. He's always got my back. I had to wrestle with equipment, and now I know that Cuffle walked on 4 pitches. Anthony Marino in the box with a count of 1-1 and watches one sail down and away. 2-1 the count. I didn't get a chance to give you the pitching numbers on Nate Jacobson. I'll do that in the second inning. But it is Tanner Harmoning, the tall right-hander on the mound for Foster, and Anthony Marino in the box. And it's an early steal attempt, and Cuffle's got himself hung up. He slides in, and he's out at second. Harmoning just waited and threw it to his second baseman, Ryan Talley. So that'll go down as a caught stealing and a missed opportunity for Kempner. One away. 2-1 the count on Anthony Marino. And wait a minute. We've got an overrule, or is it a balk? Was that a balk? Yes, it was a balk. So Cody Cuffle is still alive. He's not out. So he took off, and the way that Harmoning stepped off the... Wait a minute. Now he's out? They sent him back onto the field. He went to second base, and then they said he's out. Just shoot me in the head. 2-1 the count on Marino. 1 out. Nobody on. Harmoning's pitch. And it just missed, hitting Anthony in the left shoulder blade, but it was a breaking ball that somehow found the strike zone, and I think maybe that's physically impossible. 2-2. And Harmoning rocks and fires. Marino watches it down and away, skips all the way to the backstop. Okay, so some numbers on Marino. Let's get back to that which we can prove and be confident in. Well, he's got 1 homer on the season. He's hitting .456. Yeah, that's right. .456 on-base percentage of .537. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He swings and misses. He will reach on a drop, third strike. It's skipped underneath the catcher, Luke Capel. And there we go. Man, a lot of crazy things are happening here in this game already. So now Ross Reichart will bat. And let's give you the numbers on the starting pitcher, Tanner Harmoning. He is 2-4. This is his 8th start. Rather, his 7th start. Sorry about that. 24 hits allowed in 24 innings. Now he faces the left-handed swinging Ross Reichart. And Marino is speedy, leading off at first. Almost caught him leaning the wrong way, throw over, and the first baseman, Jackson Lowe, with a sweep tag that knocked Anthony's batting helmet off of his head. He doesn't seem to be upset. Reichart hitting .410. Righty working to lefty, but not yet. Harmoning throws over to first again. Marino, by the way, was 2 for 4 with a homer, a double, scored 2 runs, and drove 1 in. That, of course, came on the homer. That was on Tuesday night in the 4-3 win. Here's the pitch. There goes Marino. It's high for a ball and sliding in safely head first. No, what? Oh. Marino is out, and Coach Folkers is out to argue because the infield umpire says that Marino was tagged on the foot, and I just don't think that could have possibly happened. But, you know, I just don't know if anything that I think I see is actually happening. We've had 2 caught stealings in the inning now. And Reichart remains in the batter's box with a 1-0 count. And the infield umpire continues to tell Coach Folkerts that Marino was tagged on the foot. Of course, Coach Folkerts loses the argument. By the way, usually our broadcasts are more professional than this, but usually the games are not so surreal as this in the bottom of the first. And now Reichart wants to step back. Reichart with the hair of young Jacob deGrom and current Lance McCullers, I guess. Here's the 1-0. Reichart looks at a curveball. It's inside. Ross is 25 for 61 on the season with 5 doubles. That pitch is over, but it's low, and the count 3-0 on Reichart. He'll try to become the third Kempner Cougar to reach base this inning, but not the third to get caught stealing. Here's the 3-0 up and in, ball 4. 2 4-pitch walks by Harmoning here in the bottom of the first. And Kempner so far with nothing to show for it. If you just joined us, it's 7:08, and you might have thought this game started at 7. Well, it was scheduled to start at 7, but it did not. And so, here's Peter Garcia, the cleanup hitter for your Kempner Cougars. Harmoning comes set. Reichart leads off. Big breaking ball, slow bender, and it's a strike at the letters to Peter Garcia. 2 homers on the year for Peter. 244 average, 448 on base percentage. Really good at drawing walks for a slugger. Here's the 0-1, way outside, and Capel with a nice backhand. I didn't give you the infield, I don't think, for Foster. Jackson Lowe at first base. Ryan Talley at second. The shortstop is Sam Hardcastle and Lee Kubash at third base. 1-1 on Garcia. There's a throw over by Harmoning, and it's Reichart diving back in, and Foster thought they had him picked off. But this time the call does not go their way. Kempner wearing the white home pants with the maroon pinstripes and the maroon tops. Down and away, and it's now 2-1 on Peter Garcia. He's a junior, but he's been starting on the varsity since he was a freshman. Reichart taking a cautious lead out there. Here's the pitch. Swing. He shouldn't have gone after that one. It was way outside. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs and Reichart at first. By the way, in the outfield for Foster, Hayden Holchak, Chase Cloud, and Jacob Ardwan. That's left to right. Holchak in left, Chase Cloud in center, and Jacob Ardwan in right. Harmoning looks over at Reichart. Now he steps off. I think he wants his catcher Capel to go through the signs again. Garcia guarding the plate from the right-handed batter's box. The 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And that'll do it for Kempner. They get 3 men on base, 2 caught stealing, no hits, no errors, and, well, we're after 1 inning and it's scoreless, and I just want to start over.
First Tire Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Tire Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireAndAuto.com.
We are back here at Kempner, and Nate Jacobson out there for his second inning of work. He'll face Sam Hardcastle, Coleman Biggs, and Jackson Lowe for the Foster Falcons, who come into this game with one district loss. They are at 8-1. Kempner is at 9-2. Fulsher right now in third place with an 8-3 record, and the Terry Rangers at 6-3. Actually, they're tied for fourth with Angleton, both teams at 6-3. So I was going to mention that Nate Jacobson threw 1 2/3 innings to finish off and get the save on Tuesday night in the 4-3 win. And Hardcastle is a tough guy to deal with, so you got to be careful. He hits .385. Righty working to righty. Nate Jacobson brings it. First pitch swinging. One hopper to Marino. Picks it clean. Fires across. And they quickly get him out. Very solid infield play has been the hallmark of the Kempner Cougars this season. Now Coleman Biggs. He hits .217, but he's got some pop in his bat. Limited action, though. Only 5 runs driven in. First pitch to him. Just above the letters for ball 1. Foster wearing white pants with the black pinstripes, and they have the gold tops with the black numerals and letters outlined in white. Next pitch is also high. Same spot, 2-0. Biggs batting in place of the pitcher Harmoning. Jacobson rocks and brings the 2-0. There's a strike at the knees on the outside corner. I don't think I named the outfielders for you in inning number 1. It's Brian Luna in left. He's a freshman. Thomas Moss, also a freshman, in center. And the old man, the senior, Brandon Fegley in right field. Here's the 2-1, and that is lined toward left field, and it bounces in front of Luna, and it gets away from him, and that means that Biggs is going to get to second base. He slides in. So that should be a single and a one-base error. Biggs at second base with one away for Jackson Lowe. Lowe has 8 RBIs on the year. So Drew Walker went out there for a moment to talk to his man Nate Jacobson. And Lowe is really crowding the plate from the right side, and now they run an appeal play, throw over to first, and step on it because Kempner was arguing that maybe, just maybe, Biggs had failed to touch first base. But palms down, he did touch first, and he's at second right now. Lowe steps out, didn't like waiting so long. Wind blowing out gently toward left center. It always seems to be blowing at least in the general direction of left field. Here's the pitch. And there's a hard ground ball to Marino. And he looks at third, throws late to first and wide, and everybody's safe. Jackson Lowe reaches on the second error of the inning. And Biggs moves over to third base, and Foster has something going with only one away. Jacob Ardoin, the right fielder. They're having fun already in the dugout over on the first base side. Visiting Foster Falcons really want this game bad. Right-handed hitting Jacob Ardoin. First pitch swinging, 2-hopper to Marino. Over to second for 1, on to first, but not in time for the double play. And a run scores as Biggs comes across. So Ardoin reaches on the fielder's choice. Lowe is retired. And now it's Chase Cloud, the number 9 hitter. 1-0. Foster breaks out on top, and left-handed hitting Chase Cloud stands in. He's got a triple this year and 4 doubles. He's got a mustache. I noticed that. It's kind of that David Niven wispy kind of mustache. First pitch is outside. Walker takes a quick, sharp look over there at first base. Ardoin could possibly be a threat to steal. Here's the pitch on the outside corner as Jacobson burned it off very nicely. Count now 1-1. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike on the inside corner. And if we were at Ridge Point, I think the home fans, if their pitcher did that, they'd say left, right, because they really like to work one corner, then the opposite one. 1-2 count. Quick pitch by Jacobson, but it's roped down the right field line, and it's in there for a hit. Fegley gets it back in, but that's going to be a first to third advance by Ardoin. And Foster still has something going here. Second hit of the inning. Well, Chase Cloud was not the least bit surprised when he got quick pitched. By the way, at the end of the game, you know, when I say how long the game lasted, I'm going to have to say that it started at 6:52. See, it was supposed to start at 7, but we have possible threatening weather coming. And I didn't get to play all my pre-game interviews, and they were really good, man. They were radio gold. But back to the top of the order we go. Lee Kubash grounded out to second base on the first pitch of the game. 1-0 Foster. Runners first and third with 2 away. Jacobson throws over to first, and the swipe tag is not in time to get Chase Cloud. Jacobson comes set. Comes home. There's a strike at the knees. We were going to bring you better audio, but we had a little problem. Maybe we can fix that. How does that sound? Hopefully that'll work for us. Jacobson throws over again, and a very accurate throw. Didn't even have to make the swipe tag, but Cloud was back in. Ardoin at third. 0-1 the count on Kubash. Swings and fouls it back into the very high screen here at Kempner. By the way, we'll have these same 2 schools playing softball tomorrow at 1:30. Jacobson taking longer to throw this pitch than any other pitch in the game. It's 0-2, and there's a liner that goes to left field, and it drops in front of Luna, and another ball gets away from him. 1 run scores, and they're going to hold a runner at third. No, they get a hot box between second and third, and a second run scores. Now Kempner, meanwhile, is trying to throw out Kubash, and they do, but not before 2 runs score on the play, and it's 3-0. Oh, boy, this is a weird game already, and Foster out on top. We'll be back after this, after 1.5, 3-0 Falcons.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
Okay, to recap that play that ended the top of the second inning, You had Lee Kubash get a single to left field. And, of course, Ardoin, who was on third base, easily scored. Chase Cloud just kept coming. He was running on contact. And when the ball got away from Luna, he kept coming. And then he realized that Kubash was trying to get himself hung up. And he came on home and scored. And Kempner did manage to get Kubash out. But not before 2 runs came in on that single by Kubash. So the bottom line is 3 runs on 3 hits. And there were 2 errors by Kempner and nobody left on base. And here we go. It is Brian Luna, the left fielder, swings lefty, facing Harmoning. Wind up, and here's the pitch. Swung on, and a tapper foul that goes in front of the Foster dugout. And by the way, that was a very nice catch over there. That was Nick Johnson, who's in the dugout, but he caught it barehanded. Luna ready. Breaking ball, caught the outside corner, painted it very nicely according to the umpire. Kempner fans really did not like the call on that one. Luna's hitting .364. Freshman phenom. Down and away, and the catcher Capel trying to buy a call, but nothing doing there. The count's 2-2. Kempner down here early as they bat in the bottom of the second. 3-0. There's a pitch high and away, and the count goes full. Luna keeps a very quiet bat. Payoff pitch, down and in, and he draws a walk. That's 3 walks already for Harmoning. And in the Batter Up Show interview with Coach Mick Tosh, he was talking about how his pitchers need to throw strikes. Well, his man has already walked 3, and he's getting away with it so far. Now the batter will be Michael Davey. By the way, a little known fact here, Michael Davey leading the team in getting hit by a pitch. He's been hit by a pitch 8 times, and I asked him prior to the game, what have you done to provoke the opposition? He just doesn't know. But he gets an opportunity here, and by the way, let's see, is there a possibility that Luna might steal a base? Well, he's not a base stealer by trade, so I'm betting he won't go. Right-handed swinging, Michael Davey. Swings and misses. Nasty curveball coming at him by Harmoning. Davey 12 for 55 on the year. He's got 8 runs batted in. Ready for the 0-1. Closed stance for Michael, but first a throw over. And Luna dives back in. Jackson Lowe, the first baseman, is holding him on over there for Foster. They're wearing the black caps with the gold F outlined in white on the front. Here's the pitch. Davey watches that one sail outside, and it's 1-1. Be with us for softball tomorrow, 1:30, Foster and Kempner. I don't know if you need to bring your umbrella, but everybody needed to bring theirs tonight. There's that possibility. And Davey steps out. Count still 1-1. So that's our Saturday broadcast for you is softball, Kempner and Foster. Then Tuesday night, we got Travis and George Ranch, baseball. Here's the 1-1, breaking ball in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. A lot of confidence there shown by Harmoning, who's already walked 3, and yet he can throw his curve for a strike when he needs to. Outside target set up by Capel. 1-2. Davey looks and just missing away. A gutsy take. And the count 2-2. Foster has out-hit Kempner 3-0, and they lead the game 3-0. Kempner made 2 errors in the top of the second, and that helped Foster out. But Foster did get 3 hits. Davey ready for the 2-2. Here it comes. way outside. It goes full again. Harmoning has gone full on both hitters in the bottom of the second. Nate Jacobson waiting to bat next. Davey waiting patiently for his dream pitch. But there's a throw over. Luna easily back in, but he did have to dive. They've cut the grass pretty short here at Kempner, so anything that gets in the gap has a good chance to roll to the wall. Hard infield ground balls have a chance to get through. The 3-2. Ball 4. Capel thought they had it, so he framed it. But it's a fourth walk. 2 men on, nobody out in the bottom of the second, and now Nate Jacobson with a chance to help himself out. I don't know that I ever gave you I did give you some Harmoning numbers, but not all of them. He's got a 5.25 ERA and a whip of 1.75. The batting average against him, 253. Here's Jacobson. The tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to him. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes it outside for a ball. Jacobson waiting for the 1-0. Here's the pitch. Curveball strike on the outside corner. Harmoning comes set. The 1-1 on the way. Jacobson jabs at it. It's a swinging strike or a bunt attempt strike, and it's 1-2. Well, the scoreboard says 1-2, but I thought it was 2-1. Maybe the home plate umpire will hold up some fingers for us. It is 1-2. Scoreboard is correct. Harmoning ready. And brings it. And just getting a piece is Jacobson. Nice job of staying alive. When Jacobson swings away, he's hitting .211 on the season. He has 2 doubles. Just 1 run driven in. Harmoning with a long look in at Capel. At the belt. Pitch on its way. Swing and a ground ball toward shortstop. Hardcastle flips to second for 1. On to first, but it gets by. And that's going to result in a run as Luna comes on home. And Jacobson gets to second. Michael Davey is at third base, and he's not coming off the field. He's not thinking he was forced at second, and now they're going to ask the infield umpire, did you actually see the second baseman, Ryan Talley, with his foot on the bag? He says, yes, I did. So Jacobson with a fielder's choice plus an error on the second baseman. He gets to second, and now a courtesy runner going in. That courtesy runner is Davis Duhan. Kempner does get a run on the board as Luna comes home. And as I was watching him come from third to home, I see why they didn't have him steal a base. All right, Drew Walker, the catcher. Walker's hitting .234. He's got 6 2-out RBIs, and I don't know why I said that because there's only 1 out. Puts his hand up. Now he's ready. A lot of weight on that back leg. First pitch from Harmoning. Way outside, and it gets past Capel. And that means we're going to get Duhan over to third. So if we have a mound visit, which we might here pretty soon, I'm going to tell you some details on what happened in that thrilling Tuesday night win for the Kempner Cougars. Walker stepped out of the box. Meanwhile, Mick Tosh didn't walk to the mound, but he did step away from the dugout, and he had something to say to Harmoning. The count's 1-0 on Walker. One away, runner at third. Here's the pitch. Way outside, and it's 2-0. This is one of those situations you got to make it be there. Situations where you got to make it be there. Walker taking his time. I think he's trying to irritate Harmoning a little bit, which is, of course, part of the game. At the belt, the 2-0. Way outside, 3-0, and quickly Walker puts up his hand to tell Duhan it did not get past Capel. All right, Walker again taking a little walk. Looks like he's deep in thought. Sure, he is a very thoughtful young man. Ready for the 3-0. Here's the pitch. Walker takes one on the outside corner at the knees. That might have been one of those, basically your automatic strike calls. And Walker again taking his time. Harmoning is ready to throw. The 3-1 on the way. And that's a strike on the outside corner, and Walker started to toss his bat back to the dugout. He thought that was ball 4, but no. Moves toward the front of the box a little bit, and now he asks for time. I'll tell you what, Mike Hargrove, many of you would be more familiar with him as a former manager of the Cleveland Indians. But when he was a ball player, a catcher for the Texas Rangers, they call him the human rain delay. And Drew Walker takes a lot of time between pitches, too. Here's the 3-2. Way outside. In fact, it goes all the way to the screen. And Duhan scores. Kempner gets within 3-2, and Foster just letting the Cougars back into the ball game. Meanwhile, it's walk number 5. Drew Walker goes down to first, and I expect pretty soon we'll see a courtesy runner out there. Okay, so they're playing the Baby Shark theme, which is appropriate as the freshman, Thomas Moss, coming to the plate. They're having a good time.
It's like I'm not paying any attention to what's happening.
You know what? I think they're actually going to let Drew Walker stay in there and run for himself. They might wait until he gets into, hi, Mr. Pike. They might wait until he gets into scoring position to have him come off the field. Yeah, Walker wants to stay out there, and looks like he has no intention of coming off the field. I mean, other than to talk to Coach Folkerts during a pitching change. We have a pitching change. All right. You know, I mentioned a guy who just popped out of the dugout a moment ago, and his name is Nick Johnson. Well, guess what? He's the new pitcher. So Nick Johnson has no wins or losses, but he is 1 for 1 in save opportunities. This certainly is not one of those. This will be his 5th appearance. He's thrown 10 2/3 innings. 5 hits allowed in those 10 2/3 innings. 2 runs allowed, 1 of those earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 13. His ERA is a minuscule 0.66. His whip is 1.13. He throws 59% strikes, and that was really the problem for Harmoning. He just wasn't throwing enough strikes, and he had walked 5 batters, and Mick Tosh saw enough. First pitch strike percentage is also 59% for Nick Johnson. And the batting average against him, 128. So Foster wants to get this thing under control right now. Drew Walker, who walked, which is very appropriate, is at first base. And now the freshman, Thomas Moss. Right-handed hitter facing Nick Johnson. Righty working to righty. Walker thinking about stealing, maybe. First pitch to Moss, and he goes the other way. Shoots it into right field for a base hit. And Walker turns second. He stops there. He's going to hold. And a good job getting it back in. Jacob Ardoin out there in right field. But I'll tell you what, the Kempner Cougars really responded well. They were down 3-0 after an inning and a half. Now they have 2 runs across the plate and runners at first and second with only 1 away. Well, the baby shark was ready to eat some chum, and he did. Cody Kuffel now walked his first time. Lefty swinger looking at Nick Johnson. Here's the pitch. And a big break towards third base. There goes Walker. He slides in. He's safe. He stole third. How about that? He took off a little bit early. And when Johnson turned around and threw to second, he was more than halfway to third. So now they're ready for a courtesy runner, I think. No, I think Walker just wants to stay out there. He likes running bases. He likes getting dirty. Good for him. Now Kuffel ready. 1-0 the count. Johnson brings it, and he pops it up on the infield. And that's actually to short center field, and the catch made out there by Chase Cloud. And across home plate comes the third Kempner run. Walker comes home from third, and it's because he stole that base that we could get a sacrifice fly out of Cody Kuffel. That's the second out. You know, I do have to confess, Kuffel hit that ball a lot farther than I thought he had. I thought it was a pop-up on the infield, but it carried into the outfield deep enough to get the runner, Walker, home. Moss is still at first base, and now it's Anthony Marino. First pitch to him. Swings at the high cheese and comes up empty. And a throw down to first. Swipe tag, but it does not get Moss, who gets safely back to the bag he was standing on. Marino advanced to first on a drop third strike, his first time. But he was caught stealing in a baseball context. The 0-1 to him. Anthony looks at that one on the outside corner. Looked kind of like it was off the outside corner. But the umpire said it's strike 2. Good night at Kempner here so far, weather-wise. Here's the 0-2 to Marino. That's outside. Looked like it was in the same spot as the previous pitch, but it was called a ball that time. Kempner could really help itself out if they can get another victory after the big one on the road at Foster on Tuesday. Johnson brings the 1-2, and it's a ground ball back up the middle. This will be an easy force out as Sam Hardcastle steps on second. So score that 6 unassisted, but the Kempner Cougars score 3 times on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base, and we'll move on to the 3rd inning. All tied up, 3-3, Kempner and Foster.
First Tire and Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Town Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireAuto.com.
Okay, how about some details for you on what happened on Tuesday night in the 4-3 Kempner win? Well, Anthony Marino had a big night, 2 for 4 with a homer and a double. Scored 2 runs and drove in the run, of course, on his solo bomb. Ross Reichart, 1 for 3, scored a run and drove one in. Peter Garcia, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Cody Kuffel, 1 for 4, scored a run, stole a base. Kempner survived the game despite not getting production out of their 5 through 9 hitters. Combined, they went 0 for 13, but they're already doing better than that tonight. So Ross Reichart was the starting pitcher. He threw 5 1/3 innings, 92 pitches, scattered 7 hits, allowed 2 runs, struck 1 batter out, walked 4, and then Nate Jacobson saved it. And Kempner threw out Foster's Luke Capel at home in the bottom of the 7th. The relay from Reichart to Kuffel to catcher Drew Walker, and the Cougars win by 1. The 3rd inning begins. Nate Jacobson, the right-hander, still out there. First pitch swinging for Hayden Holchak, and he lashes it foul on the ground on the left side. He singled and got to second in inning number 1. Jacobson going from the windup. Roxanne brings the 0-1. Ground ball, and Marino dives for it, but he gets past him into left field for a base hit. And Holchak is 2 for 2. He thought about going to second. Luke Capel, who popped up his first time, comes in. So let's look at Holchak. How about that? 2 for 2 tonight. That means that on the season he is 18 for 55. So he has bumped up his .302 average. He's safely into the 300s. Bunt attempt down the third base line, but Peter Garcia, who had not crashed on the play, is very thankful that the ball rolled foul. I put Holchak single in the wrong column. We're in the 3rd inning. All right, Capel steps out, looks down at Mick Tosh, his head coach, in the third base box. Jacobson nods at his catcher, Drew Walker, who moves to the outside corner. In fact, he's moved to a target outside the strike zone, and Walker made the catch, and he almost pulled the trigger on a pickoff try at first. And he said he looked back at the dugout and wiggled his fingers as if to say, I just didn't have a grip on the ball. So if you don't have a grip, you're better off. Just hang on to the ball, which he did. 2-0 the count on Capel. Here's the pitch, squares to bunt. Curveball high, throw to first, and Reichart picks it out of the dirt. Safe at first. So Holchak playing with a lot of energy. He's an aggressive base runner. And he's 2 for 2 already. Capel already squaring, but Jacobson throws to first. Reichardt's going to stay there with a foot on the bag, keep him close over there. And there is an interruption in the game as the infield umpire is asking somebody in the dugout to stop saying something, and I don't know what that something would be. Here's the 2-1, swings away, weak grounder between second and first and into right field for a hit. Station to station as Holchak only gets to second. That was really off the end of the bat. Capel just found a way to make contact, and sometimes good things happen for you. Now it's Ryan Talley who's 0 for 1 with a ground ball to first base. And on that play, just beautifully done, Reichart had to go about, I'd say, at least 20 feet to his right to field it. And Jacobson, beautiful execution, hustling all the way, covering first, made the play. He could sure use a double play right here.
Let's go, Ryan!
Ryan Talley with a lot of very vocal supporters. Jacobson looks back at second. Runners at first and second with nobody out, and the first pitch is a strike. Talley showed bunt, but withdrew the bat.
Let's go, Tally!
Talley bouncing around in that batter's box. Showing practice swings. Will he square around again? Yes, he will. Lets it go by, and it's high, 1-1. Good crowd on hand here at Kempner, but of course they do limit the number of people who can come in. But I don't think you could swing a cat in the bleachers without hitting someone. Good crowd. Jacobson brings it. Talley bunts it, and it trickles back behind home plate. 1-2. Sounded like it hit the plate. Sam Hardcastle comes over to get the ball. The foul ball, I mean. We'll see if Mick Tosh might show ultimate confidence in Drew Talley's ability to handle the bat. No, he swings away on 1-2, and down he goes. First strikeout for Jacobson. One away. I'm telling you, look out for this Hardcastle. He's got home run power. On-base percentage coming into this game of .424. He slugs .538. Big breaking ball, and both runners go, and 2 stolen bases on one play. So that pitch was high. It's ball 1 on Hardcastle. Holchak is at third. And by the way, it's not Capel running out there at second base. Let me check on that for you. Cameron Franklin, I believe, number 27. I wonder if Cameron likes Jose Altuve. 2 runners in scoring position for Hardcastle. Walker with more signals than just the usual ones where you put the fingers down. He's making some gestures. Probably not just for Jacobson, but also the infielders. Here's the 1-0. Down and away. 2-0 on Hardcastle. Good hitter's count for an awesome hitter. And the wind seems to be blowing harder out toward left field now. Jacobson, who was down 3-0, now it's a 3-3 game, but he's got to be careful here. Pitch on the way. Down and away, and it's 3-0 on Sam Hardcastle. Hardcastle taps the outside corner, then the inside corner. Will they let the big dog eat on 3-0? Now there's a whip around throw back to second, and they did not get Capel out, or I'm sorry, not Capel, but his courtesy runner, Cameron Franklin. Jacobson a long look in. Walker wants the outside target. 3-0 on its way. Way outside, and the bases are full. Two singles and a walk. And trouble for Jacobson. Good thing he struck out Talley. Now Coleman Biggs, the DH, singled and advanced to second on an error. Foster would really like to get back up on top. They led it 3-0. Now we're tied 3-3, but the Falcons are threatening. Biggs is ready. way outside. You know, Walker had set up on the inside, and the pitch was nowhere near it. And Kempner was very lucky that nobody came home, as it did trickle past Walker. In fact, it went about 25 feet past him, but Mick Tosh told Holchak to stay where he was at third. I guess the thinking there, no sense running yourself into an out when you have confidence in your bats and you got the bases loaded. And one out. Jacobson goes from the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Strike at the knees. Very nice late movement. Dropped off the table right there at the end. Big steps back in. Here's the 1-1. Just missed the outside corner. Walker trying to frame it a little bit. Looks over at the dugout. Coach Folkerts, who was an ace assistant coach and the pitcher whisperer under Mark Jones, and he's had control of the program. This is 4th year. Swing and a foul straight back into the screen. 2-2 the count on Coleman Biggs. The DH, he bats in place of, well, he started as subbing for Tanner Harmoning, who's the starting pitcher, and now Nick Johnson is the man on the mound for the Falcons. Slightly closed stance for Biggs. Jacobson rocks and fires. The 2-2, breaking ball, check swing off the handle of the bat. And you know it hit the handle of the bat because Biggs is not wailing because he's got a broken finger, which he would have had the ball hit his hand. By the way, I see more and more players wearing one glove, and Biggs has a glove on the left hand, no glove on the right hand, kind of like a right-handed golfer. 2-2, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Great job by Jacobson of burning it off. 2 away, and now the infielders can return to normal depth. Jackson Lowe, who reached on an error in inning number 2, comes up. Jackson Lowe spells his last name L-O-W, but I had to ask Coach Toch, is it Lau or Lowe? Strike at the knees on the outside corner. You know, there's a player for the Tampa Bay Rays, Brandon Lau, spelled L-O-W-E, I think. Jackson Lowe hits .341. Jacobson rocks and fires. Strike at the knees, 0-2. He's 1 strike away from getting the Foster Falcons to leave the bases loaded. He might try to get Lowe to chase one here. Yes, he does. It's outside. Drew Walker had set up where the ball was at least a good foot out of the strike zone, and that's where his target was. Lowe ready. Here's the 1-2. And it's a chopper toward short. 2-hopper. Marino bobbles it, throws late, and not in time. 2 runs score. Jacobson didn't like the call. They've got to calm him down. Reichart, the senior, with a hand to the top of Jacobson's caps. And settle down, buddy. We got this. Foster taking full advantage, sending those runners hard. And after Holchak scored, then Franklin did not slow down, coming around third, came all the way home. Hardcastle ended up at second, and so you have Lowe at first base. And we can call that an E6, so assuming that Kempner's scoring is the same as mine, the Cougars have already made 3 errors in the ballgame, and now I see on the scoreboard that a 3rd error is up there. So to reset, it is now 5-3. Foster on top as 2 runs came home while Jackson Lowe reached on an error by the shortstop Anthony Marino. He's there at first. Hardcastle is at second. Now it's Jacob Ardoin. First pitch to him. Breaking ball missed away. Nathan Jacobson is just taking a deep breath, collecting himself. A good move by the senior Reichardt to calm him down. See what happens now. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. He took something off that one. The changeup gets him to a 1-1 count. Softball tomorrow, same two schools, 1:30 first pitch. Ardoin puts up a hand, wants to step out. Hardcastle leading off of second, and no one is holding him there. But there's a throw over to first, and they say no pickoff. Kempner thought they had it, and now Jacobson needs to calm down again. He thought he had a perfect pickoff throw. Reichardt goes back out there and says a few words of encouragement. It did look pretty good, but the umpire said that he slid under the tag, and Ardoin still up there swinging. Lowe still at first. 2 away, the 1-1. Swing and a foul straight back. It's 1-2. Chase Cloud comes out of the dugout playing croquet with the baseball. Now playing soccer with it. Okay. He's over by the on-deck area, and now we have the 1-2 ready to be thrown by Nate Jacobson. Ardoin ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a tapper. Ardoin stays alive as it trickles over on the left side. Not an artistic game so far by either team, but I'll tell you what, this is the excitement of high school baseball. Jacobson wants another ball, and he gets it. And the home plate umpire went out there to talk with him briefly. Now that same umpire gets the little whisk broom and cleans off home plate. And our reset, 1-2 the count on Ardoin. 2 runs have crossed home plate in the inning for Foster. They lead it 5-3. From the stretch, Jacobson brings the 1-2. That's high for ball 2. Comfortable night at Kempner as long as we stay dry. Cross your fingers. Jacobson looks back at Hardcastle, brings the 2-2. Outside, and the count is full, so the runners will get a head start. Nervous Nelly time. You don't want anybody ripping a gapper right now. Slightly open stance for Ardoin. Jacobson brings it. Swing and a fly ball to left field. Look out, it could go. It is gone. 3-run bomb by Jacob Ardoin, and it's now 8-3. Got a 3-2 pitch, and he yanked it. So Ardoin hits his second homer of the season, and it gives his team an 8-3 lead. Now we get down to the bottom of the order, Chase Cloud, and we'll see if Nate Jacobson will just finish this inning. They are fired up over in the Foster dugout, and we'll see what the Kempner Cougars are made of. Jacobson rocks and fires one, a ball high to Chase Cloud, who's 1 for 1 with a second inning single. Looking over the top of his glove, Jacobson brings it. Swing and a miss at the changeup. It's 1-1 on Chase Cloud. The mustached one. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball, burned off the outside corner. For a nanosecond there, Chase Cloud was showing bunt. Jacobson ready to bring the 1-2, but before he does, Cloud asks for time. Here's Jacobson's pitch, and it's a pop-up on the infield. It'll be Marino, or will it be Peter Garcia? It is, I don't even know who caught it. I guess Garcia? No, it was Marino. They came right there together, and if they had run into each other, Garcia would have knocked Marino down. Anyway, 5 runs come across in the top of the third. The big blow, a 3-run shot by Jacob Ardoin. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace, for taking care of business for us so we can take care of business and bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. So a new game. Nick Johnson on the track to be the winning pitcher of his team can hang on to a 5-0 lead. But it'll be Reichart leading off here. He took the first pitch for a ball. Here's the second one. Breaking ball burns off the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Reichart walked in inning number 1. Kempner needs to start chipping away. Here's the 1-1. First pitch, and he sprays it foul over onto the tennis courts. I think somebody's still out there practicing. You can get really good if you swing at balls that you can't see. That's what made, hold on a second. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, ground ball up the middle. Scooped by Hardcastle, fires, and in time to get Reichart by half a step. Nice play over there by Sam Hardcastle. Now, Peter Garcia. By the way, I want to relay some information from my good friend Lance Fegley. He tells me that this game sold out as many tickets as they could sell in this current protocol situation, but the game sold out in 7 minutes. That's like a Garth Brooks concert. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, barely, to Peter Garcia, who struck out in inning number 1. Garcia has home run power. Be good if we see him come up with multiple ducks on the pond. Swing and a ground ball toward third, and a bad hop, but a great play by Kubosh, who throws out Garcia. That last hop took a wicked turn, and Kubosh kept his eyes on it. At least that's what the newspapers will say. Now Brian Luna walked in inning number 2, and he scored the first Kempner run. Lefty swinger facing Johnson. Nick rocks and brings the first one, breaking ball high. Be with us on Tuesday night as we'll have the Travis Tigers hosting George Ranch. 1-0 pitch is high. Luna, the freshman. The Cougars have Thomas Moss as one of their 3 freshmen. The 2-0 outside, 3-0. Cole Jarneau is the other freshman on the Kempner varsity roster, and 3-0 the count on Luna. Nick Johnson nods at his catcher. Capel delivers. Strike. Taking all the way was Luna. Johnson loves to take the cap off, put it back on. Now he brings the 3-1. Swing, and it gets near the top of the screen. In fact, it clears the screen and lands on top of the hitting facility at Kempner. Three and two with 2 outs. Kempner trailing 8-3 as they bat in the bottom of the third. Johnson taking his time, now winds. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed, and he gets a strikeout to end the top, or I should say the bottom of the third inning for Kempner. No runs, no hits, no errors. We'll move on to the fourth. Foster leading it by a score of 8-3 on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County Baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And by First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the spring. First Tire and Automotive has locations in First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. All 4 of those locations are open on Saturdays. This month, you can get $100 off a set of 4 new tires. For the best prices on tires, go to FirstTireandAuto.com. So here we go to the top of the order. Lee Kubash leading off for the Foster Falcons. And Nate Jacobson still out there. Nate rocks and fires. Curveball just high. That sure looked good. Now ready for the 1-0 pitch. Jacobson brings it. And there's a gapper to the left center field gap. And it'll roll almost to the wall where it's picked up by Luna. Easy double. Goes in standing, does Kubash. So already leading by 5. These Foster Falcons look like they want more. Didn't really get a chance to say who their heroes were on Tuesday night, even though the Falcons lost. Hayden Holchak was 3 for 4 with a double and scored a run. Hardcastle was 3 for 4, drove in 2. Ryan Talley and Chase Cloud both went 1 for 2. Now here's Jacobson working to Holchak. And he yanks it. That's deep to left field. It is gone. Second home run of the evening for these Falcons. Holchak trotting around the bases. The score is now 10-3. That's the first home run of the season for Holchak. And he's bashing batting helmets with his teammates as he heads to the dugout. All the players are out. And Coach Folkerts is going to go to the bullpen, and it looks like it might be Ross Reichart, because Reichart is going to the dugout, I think, to get a different mitt. He'll put down his first baseman's mitt and go to the mound, and a hand for Nate Jacobson. And we'll see if Kempner can make a big comeback. Nobody out here still in the top of the fourth. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Town Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireAuto.com.
We're back, and a new pitcher warming up for Kempner, but it is not Reichart. Reichart left first base, went to the dugout to get an outfielder's glove. And now BP, Brandon Fegley, comes in from right field. And you know it's kind of habit to say crafty left-hander, but he is crafty. He can move that baseball around. So let's look at the numbers on Fegley. No wins or losses. This will be his 6th appearance. 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 9 hits in those 5 1/3. 11 runs allowed, all of them earned, but I'll tell you what, he's better than that. He struck out 6, and he has a deceptive ERA, so I'm not even going to mention it. He hasn't gotten the usual number of reps that he expects, been playing a lot of games as a position player, and he will try to stop the bleeding, and Kempner will try to get the bats going, but first, they've got to get out of this top of the 4th. Fegley, a senior, he swims, he runs cross country, he shovels snow, he climbs Mount Everest. I exaggerate a little bit, but yeah, he's a Renaissance man, and technically, legally he's not even a man yet. Or is he? Has he turned 18? Okay. Well, yeah, he's a Renaissance man then. All right, Luke Capel comes up after the Holchak homer. First pitch to the Foster catcher is way outside.
All right, B.
On the mound for the Cougars, number 13, Brandon Fegley.
Fegley with the cap slightly askew to his right. Brings it. Breaking ball low. That little ooh-wee behind me was from a mom who thought it was a strike. The one who gave birth to Brandon. Here's the 2-0. That's outside, and it's 3-0, so I guess he's got to stop getting cute and go for the heart of the strike zone. Capel is 1 for 2 with a 3rd inning single. Fegley rocks and fires right down Voss Road for a strike, 3-1. So Kempner's going to have to play from way behind. Sounds like a football score. It's 10-3. Swing, and Capel nearly gets it over the net on the right side.
All right, B.
Only very rarely, in fact, maybe even never again, do they have a softball game and a baseball game at the same time. Not so much because of COVID, but because of foul balls that can get out of the baseball field and land on the girls' heads on the softball field. Here's a late swing on a curveball, and it's a foul ball, barely. Woo, that was close. That's why they say it's a game of inches, and it's going to be another 3-2 pitch for Capel. Reichart is in center now. Here's the pitch by Fegley, swung at a high one. High fly ball, short center, out goes Marino, makes the catch. And 1 out.
All right, boys. Let's get Ryan.
Second baseman, number 4, Ryan Talley.
Now Ryan Talley 0 for 2 with a 3rd inning strikeout. Looking at the lefty Fegley for the first time. He rocks and brings it. Curveball burned off the outside edge. Oh, yes, he paints houses, too. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball that didn't break too much, and it's high, 1-1. Fegley now with part of his shirt tail getting out of there. Here's the 1-1. Just missed the outside corner, trying to get Talley to chase. Not happening on that pitch. Talley checks with the umpire, gets the count. It's 2-1. Fegley, long look in at Walker. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Sometimes you'll see him spike the splitter. He does shake off a sign. Now he's got the one he wants. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, the big hook. Uncle Charlie not welcome in the Ryan Talley household.
Shortstop, number 13, Sam Hardcastle.
So a dangerous customer up there now, Sam Hardcastle, and Fegley, if he can get one more out here, it would be one big step toward trying to restore order, as Foster has come in on a Friday night and taken over the place, at least for now. Breaking ball outside. Here's the 1-0. Way outside. He might be pitching Hardcastle very carefully. By the way, we will have more baseball Friday of next week. We just don't know who. We've got to kind of reevaluate. There have been some cancellations and reschedulings. Don't know who it's going to be. 2-0 pitch, big rip, and Hardcastle came up empty. 2-1. 5 runs have come across on homers by the Foster Falcons, and they lead it 10-3. Fegley brings it. Ground ball to Marino, and it comes out of his glove. He fires late, and it's too high and gets away. Hardcastle's going to end up at second. So the errors piling up for Kempner. That's error number 4. By the way, Coach Folkerts comes out of the dugout, and I'm not sure what his argument would be. But meanwhile, I wanted to make sure that I was making you completely aware of all of the defensive changes for Kempner. Who's 21? I don't have a 21 on my roster. First baseman.
Is that Cole? Yeah.
Cole,
Is 21?
Cole Jarno.
Cole? Is that Cole?
Cole Jarno?
Is it? Oh, yeah, first, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it says 20 on mine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it is Cole Jarno who is playing first base for Kempner. He entered the game when they made the pitching change to go to Fegley. Reichardt went to center field. Peter Garcia still playing third base. Jacobson is out of the game. And so there are 2 umpires talking to each other now. I don't know if Coach Folkerts got them to reconsider something, and frankly, I don't know what it would be they're reconsidering. Hardcastle hit the ground ball too short. It kind of took a little tricky hop right at the end, and so Marino didn't catch it cleanly. His throw might have beaten Hardcastle. It was going to be super close, but the throw ended up going high, and Cole Jarno had to turn around and chase it down. And so Hardcastle ended up at second with 2 outs. And now Mick Tosh has joined a conversation with the home plate umpire and Coach Folkerts. And somehow Hardcastle is out. How about that? Okay, well, I'm not sure what happened, and a lot of people behind me have ideas about what might have happened, but Hardcastle is out, and we're in the middle of the 4th inning. Kempner trailing by a score of 10-3. What a bizarre game this has been so far. We'll be back.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
I had to turn that up because that was the first cut on the first side of Candio, one of my favorite albums by the Cars. Let's go. In fact, that's a good thought for the Kempner Cougars. By the way, I had mentioned that Anthony Marino made an error on that play that allowed Hardcastle to get to first, but then when the umpires came out and evidently the ball was touched or Hardcastle interfered or something, I don't know exactly what happened. But I do know Hardcastle's out, and now Kempner's batting, and the error on Marino is nullified. So we're back to only 3 errors for the Cougars, not 4. And now the home plate umpire is going over to talk to one of the assistant coaches for Foster, and I don't know what's going on here now. Okay. Wow. You know the problem, the thing is they never should have started this game before 7 o'clock. It all went downhill from there when I couldn't play all of my pregame interviews on the Batter Up show. See, I care about the quality of the production and the scatter shot quality. The scatter shot quality of the production just trickled onto the baseball field. All right, so it is Michael Davey to lead things off. He's the DH, batting in place of the pitcher, who is now Brandon Fegley. The 1-0 pitch to Davey. Looked outside, but it's in there for a strike, and Nick Johnson out there working in relief of the starter. Brings the 1-1. Davey leaned back, and it's a ball inside. Harmony was the starting pitcher for Foster, and when he left, the game was tied. Nick Johnson came in, and then Foster has put together big innings, crooked numbers in inning number 2 with 3, inning number 3 with 5, and then the 4th inning they scored twice. And there's a deep drive to left field. Will it get out? It bounces, it one-hops the wall. Michael Davey will cruise into second with a double. Didn't have to slide, but he did. There we go. Maybe that's the beginning of something that will make this evening dramatic. Come on. Nobody wants a blowout. And now Cole Jarno coming to bat for the first time in the spot where Jacobson was hitting. And a little child shall lead them. Yes, it's a freshman coming up with opportunity, knocking against Nick Johnson. Right-handed swinging, Cole Jarno. Righty to righty, here's the pitch. Swing and a foul over the screen and onto the softball field, where there are a couple of romantic picnickers. I'm just kidding. Jarno, meanwhile, he's 3 for 26 on the season, but he has potential. 6 RBIs. He's made the most of his 3 hits. He's ready. Here's the pitch. And he rips one. It's a chopper back to the mound. Johnson looks at third, throws to first, gets the out there, and Davey advances to third base.
The catcher, number 14, Drew Walker.
Great break by Davey to make sure that Johnson didn't think for even 1 second about going to third. Would have been very tough to get him. Now Drew Walker drew a walk in his first plate appearance. Davey doesn't want to do anything to take a risk when there's only one away. There's a lot of ways to get the run home. Walker, a good contact hitter. First pitch to Drew, down and away. Seems like catchers often have a very good idea of what the strike zone is and should be. They also can pick up on what certain home plate umpires will call a strike during the course of a game. So Drew really needs to bring his very good batting eye into use right here. The 1-0. That's outside, and it's 2-0. He's at .234 on the year. Steps out, comes back in. Johnson goes from the stretch with the runner at third. Swinging, that'll be a fly ball to center field. Going back and making the play easily is Cloud. And easily coming home to score is Michael Davey. Sacrifice fly by Walker. There are two away. And now we go to the number 9 hitter, Thomas Moss. 10-4, the updated score. You know, they can do that to you, and they should do that to you when you're a freshman. Johnson brings it. Moss, first pitch swinging, high fly ball, chasing his man back again. And a busy Chase Cloud puts away out number 3. We'll go to the 5th inning here at Kempner. The homestanding Cougars trailing Foster 10-4. This is Vype, FortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land. They take care of business every day so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week, and we have brought you over 100 broadcasted events. Football, volleyball, girls and boys basketball, softball and baseball, and of course, a little bit of soccer. We had a thrilling soccer match between the Kempner girls and Friendswood, and tell you what, the Kempner girls gave Friendswood, a team that might be good enough to win a state championship, they gave them fits, took them to penalty kicks, and lost. It was 1-1 after regulation, and 4-3 was the count in penalty kicks. First pitch swinging here in the top of the 5th. Anthony Marino in deep short, making a beautiful play to rob Coleman Biggs. 6-3 it goes. Anthony quickly to his right. had to reset his feet and fired, and Jarneau made the catch over there, and there's one away. Now Jackson Lowe, the first baseman for these Foster Falcons, and let's see, since coming in, Brandon Fegley has induced a pop-up. He's gotten a strikeout. Hardcastle was ruled out when he did something wrong, broke some kind of rule. And meanwhile, Kara Sylvester, we have time called, and Kara Sylvester, the trainer for Kempner, is coming out to talk to Drew Walker and maybe just looking at his wrist or something. Walker's going to stay out there. Emmanuel Marcucci might be the catcher if something would prevent Drew from staying in, but he'll stay out there. 10-4 the score. Foster leading as they bat, and I think I said earlier top of the sixth. That's wrong. It's the top of the fifth, if indeed I said that. Jackson Lowe has reached on an error twice, so he's 0 for 2, but he's been able to run. Swings late at a curveball and sprays it foul on the ground on the right side, all the way back to the hitting cage, which is folded up and sleeping through the night. Fegley rops and brings the 0-1, and that's a Ephus pitch. So it's 1-1. Nods at his catcher, Walker, but then Lowe steps out. Steps back on, kind of like he didn't think the subway was going to leave. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, and he swings late again, and this one goes out of play on the right side. There are some Foster fans over there in their lawn chairs, and look out. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fegley's second strikeout, 2 away. So I guess if you're going to count the Hardcastle out, he's retired 5 straight. Now Ardoin in the second inning. Jacob, safe on a fielder's choice, came around to score, and then he hit a 3-run homer in the third. Fegley rucks and brings the first pitch. Ardoin started to go, left it alone, and it's a ball low. Chase Cloud would be next. Open stance from the right-handed box for Jacob Ardoin. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball burns off the outside corner. 1-1, and I'll tell you what, Brandon can move that ball around. I mean, enough to make you think he's got an emery board in his pocket, which he doesn't. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. No chase by Ardoin, and it's 2-1. By the way, looked like we might have a pinch hitter coming up soon. Brett Bermudez is in the on-deck circle. He was the complete game pitcher in the Tuesday night game. There's a big rip by Ardoin. Fouls it back into the net. And the count 2-2. Fegley brings the 2-2 outside, 3-2. He's ready to pitch, and Ardoin taking a little bit of time. Now Fegley rocks and brings it. And it's in the air, foul, and it's going to hit the screen over on the right side before Drew Walker can get over there. And it hit the screen about 20 feet up anyway. Fegley smiling at Walker. He probably said something like, you know, you didn't need to do that. But you got to get a good grass stain on your pants once in a while. And now time called again by Ardoin. I think he's doing that Ron Say pull the eyelashes move just to step out. Here's the 3-2. It's high for a ball. That's his first walk that Fegley has issued. Now we go to Chase Cloud. Well, he's the hitter that's due, and it is going to be, as I said momentarily a few moments ago, Brett Bermudez. Brett Bermudez hits .367, so he's not just a good pitcher. .424 on-base percentage. No triples or long balls, but he does have a pair of doubles. Mick Tosh, head coach of Foster, comes over from the third base box, talks to the home plate umpire. Meanwhile, Drew Walker walks out there to chat with Fegley. Signals to his fielders that there are 2 away. Just get the easy one with Ardoin running from first. Fegley has a pretty good pickoff move, even though he's not a hard thrower. I remember one time Fegley picked off my son from first base in Little League, and Ross Reichardt's grandfather was really mad at me for that, but it was actually the coach in the other, in the third base box, it was Todd Smith. He was to blame. He told me to send the runner. I tried to explain that to Ross's grandfather after the game. It was not well received. Okay, back to the game. Bermudez in the box. Right-handed swinger against the lefty Fegley. First pitch swinging, and it's going to short right field. Going out is Kuffel. Nice catch. And that'll do it. So we will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kempner trailing 10-4. We'll go to the top of the order. 10-4, and we'll go to the top of the order. Cody Kuffel, Anthony Marino, and Ross Reichart. This is VypeFortBend.com.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
Softball tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Kempner and Foster. Tuesday night baseball as the Travis Tigers host George Ranch. Then more baseball on Friday, but the teams to be announced. We just haven't decided. Kuffel leads off, and the lefty swinger takes the first pitch. Strike on the inside part of the plate. Nick Johnson still out there. Righty working to lefty. Cody swings and misses at a pitch that was not only breaking, but it was way off speed. And he's in an 0-2 hole. Kuffel has walked and driven a run in with a sacrifice fly. Here's the 0-2. Bounces in. Spiking a splitter is Nick Johnson. Cody Kuffel threw the ball to home to cut down Capel in the bottom of the 7th on Tuesday night, helped preserve the 4-3 win. There's a chopper over the mound. Kuffel hustling. Play by Talley, throws late, and Cody Kuffel is safe. An infield hit, and Kempner will take anything to get things going. And now the very dangerous Anthony Marino.
Shortstop, number 17, Anthony Marino.
Marino with a homer on the year. .456 average. But he's 0 for 2 tonight. Dropped third strike in the first, and ground ball to the shortstop. First pitch to him, down and away, and it gets underneath the catcher. Capel comes back to get it, but meanwhile, Kuffel advances, and that's going to be a pass ball because that was right through the 5 hole. 1-0 on Marino. His batting average with runners in scoring position is .516. Make it happen here, Anthony. Let's make this game close. Downstairs in the count, 2-0. If we had more elaborate stats, I'll bet his average is even better than .516 with a runner in scoring position and a 2-0 count. He's near the front of the box. Johnson comes set, doesn't even look back at second, and a big swing by Marino. It's a foul tip. Trickles away to the right of Capel, and it's 2-1. Marino, like Peter Garcia, has been a starter since they were freshmen. Here's the 2-1. That's a high fly ball. It won't carry. Chase Cloud moving over into left center field makes the catch. And a bluff move by Kuppel, but he's not going anywhere. One away, and now it's Ross Reichart, 0 for 1 with a ground out to shortstop in inning number 3, but he did walk in the first inning. The very bizarre first inning. I don't want to think about it. It was a mess. Lefty swinging Ross Reichart. Johnson brings him the first pitch, and he rips it down the right field line. It is a fair ball. Kuffel coming around third, and he will score easily. Ardoin gets it in. It's a stand-up double for Ross Reichart. And it's now a 10-5 game. And Ross, a ready-made runner in scoring position for Peter Garcia. I don't know if you can hear that through our crowd mic, but what is that? Well, I guess it's Peter Garcia's walk-up song. He lives 2 doors over. I can ask him tomorrow morning. Righty to righty. First pitch swinging, big rip. It looked like Peter wanted to go downtown. Actually, downtown Sugar Land is south of here, but you know what I mean. His older sister, Nicole Garcia, may be the greatest female athlete in the history of Kempner High School. She graduated class of 2015. Brandon, or Peter, that's what she calls him, swings at an 0-1, and an ugly swing it is. 0-2. Garcia steps back in there, the junior, 3-year varsity starter. Has the bat poised. Johnson ready to bring the 0-2. Big hook, called strike 3. Froze him. That's just a dang good pitch right there. 2 away, and it is the freshman Luna who is due, and he's stepping into the box. You know, Luna is not very speedy. We've seen that already, which might be a good reason to just lay down a surprise bunt here. Push it over toward third, maybe. He swings, and it's a foul tip that squirts out of Capel's mitt. 0-1. Luna walked and struck out. Open stance from the left-handed hitter's box. Johnson taking his time, now nods at his catcher, Capel. Here comes the 0-1. It's high and tight on the breaking ball. 1-1. You know, that pitch was coming in slow enough, it looked like maybe Luna was saying, this pitch could hit me, it wouldn't be that bad. But it just missed him. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. He chased one downstairs, although Based on what we've seen thus far tonight, it could have been a called strike. One and two the count. Kempner trying to add to the one run they already picked up this inning. It's underneath Capel, and Reichart goes around third. He thinks about coming home, but then he holds at third. Capel did not realize that the ball had gotten past him there for about a half a second. Reichart saw it and hustled over to third. 2 and 2 the count with 2 away. Johnson brings it. Luna swings and misses at the curveball. Actually, wait a minute, he's still alive. He got a foul tip and it didn't stay in Capel's mitt. So he'll get at least one more pitch to look at. By the way, I heard a radio guy talking about Lance McCullers' hair, and why is it when a guy grows long hair, they call it his lettuce? It doesn't look like lettuce, not even shredded lettuce. I don't get that. All you have to do is listen to sports talk, and someone will say it to try to sound cool. Here's the 2-2. On its way. Luna let it go. It was high for ball 3. See if Johnson can deliver a strike. See if Luna can do something with it. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Took something off of that. And Kempner does get a run. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors. And 1 man left on base. We'll be back. And the fans here at Kempner will be singing Sweet Caroline. And I'm glad they're using the Neil Diamond version. When they use the other one, it's just wrong.
First Tire Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Tire Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireAuto.com.
You are the We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land, for taking care of business for us every day so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. We're going to be busy throughout the month of April, and we will follow teams from Fort Bend County in the baseball and softball playoffs as far as they go, time-wise and distance-wise. Brandon Fegley facing Lee Kubash to start the top of the 6th inning. Kubash 2 for 3. And he drove in a run, 2 runs actually, in the second. Looks at the second pitch, and it's low for a ball. Fegley with a big deep breath. Rocks and fires the 2-0, and it's high, 3-0. He falls behind Kubash. Fegley stands on the third base side of the pitcher's rubber before delivering. So he kind of falls back. He loses some elevation as he takes that step backward while winding up. The lefty brings it. Strike on the outside corner, 3-1. So it was a 2-run single for Kubash in the second, and in the fourth he hit a double and scored. Came on in on the 2-run homer by Hayden Holchak. Lefty working to righty. Here it comes. Check swing, and it's down and in for ball 4. Second walk for Brandon Fegley. And Holchak, last time he had a bat in his hand, he hit the 2-run homer. And it's going to be the end of the pitching night for Brandon Fegley. And I think we're going to see Thomas Moss come in and pitch. He's coming to the dugout to change gloves, I think. We'll take a break and be back on VypeFortBend.com. Kempner has scored a couple of single runs in the last 2 innings, and they trail Foster 10-5. Falcons still batting in the top of the 6th with 1 on and nobody out.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each, all in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile to save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay and 6/30/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
All right, it is Thomas Moss, the freshman, coming into pitch. For Thomas Moss, this will be his 5th appearance. He has a record of 1-0. He does have a save to his credit. This obviously is not a save situation. In 10 1/3 innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 of those earned. He's only walked 1 and he's struck out 10. He's got an ERA of 1.36, and his whip is really, really good, 0.58. He has not allowed any homers on the year. By the way, a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I won't say I learned a new word when Fernando Tatis of the Padres got hurt earlier this week, but he did get a subluxation in one of his shoulder blades as he swung the bat and missed, and the bat came around and kind of tapped him. I remember I used to go to a chiropractor in El Paso, and I remember something on a poster in his office about subluxations, and I kind of inserted an F in there, and I thought it was subfluxations, but no, it's subluxation. Anyway, Fernando Tatis, a great player. Major League Baseball really needs him because, well, I'm not going to say anything else. By the way, I have a bunch of books. You ever take anything to Half Price Books? I always feel like I'm getting fleeced when I go in and out of there, but where else are you going to take them? Okay. Thomas Moss is done throwing his warm-up pitches, and he faces Hayden Holchak. First pitch downstairs. 1-0 the count on Holchak. Wow, what a night he's having. 3 for 3 with a pair of singles and a 2-run jack. Here's the 1-0, and it gets away from Walker. That's a wild pitch, and it may be an advance from first to third. No, not quite. Kubash stops after turning second and goes back to the bag. So a runner in scoring position now for Holchak. I don't have averages with runners in scoring position for Holchak. I'll bet it's pretty good, though. The 2-0 pitch is a strike at the knees. He was taken all the way. So on Tuesday night, the Cougars used Reichart for 92 pitches. There's a ground ball. Peter Garcia fields it in fair territory. Long throw, and it gets past Jarno. A run is going to score. Here comes Kubosh around third, stomps on home plate, and getting to second on the play is Hayden Holchak. So I think you got to give him an infield hit. I'm not sure that the throw by Garcia was going to get him anyway. And that makes Mr. Holchak 4 for 4. And I guess he gets an RBI there. I don't know. Now Capel. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to him. Check swing. Did he go around? I think he did. The umpire kind of moved his hand in front of his body where we couldn't really see, but yes, it's strike one. Holchak with big lead off of second base. The right-hander Moss looks over there, brings the 0-1. Swing and a foul tip makes it 0-2. Moss walking back to the top of the mound. Looks back at Holchak, throws that way, and Kuffel applies the tag, but Holchak's foot was already on the bag. Capel stands pretty tall in the right-handed box. Walker with some gestures for his infielders. Moss comes set, now brings it. Bounces, and now there's going to be an advance to third and safe. Holchak slides in, and Garcia did not catch the ball cleanly. Wait a minute. Did they call him out? Okay. The two umpires are talking to each other. He's safe. Okay, I didn't even look at the infield umpire because there's no way he could have been out because Garcia didn't catch the ball. It kind of hopped in and squirted out of his glove, so it was rolling around. And meanwhile, Capel is going to come over and look at, have Kara Sylvester, the Kempner trainer, look at his arm. He might be bleeding. So what else was I going to talk to you about to kill time? I wrote some things down. Oh, yeah. I went up to Longview with my wife to visit our son who's at LeTourneau University in his freshman year. He's going to be a pilot someday, and we took a little jaunt from Longview to Kilgore, and they have the Texas Broadcasters Museum. It is awesome. Go to the Texas Broadcasters Museum in Kilgore. Back to the game. It's 2-2. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, and the count goes full on Capel. And Holchak, whatever bleeding issue he had has been solved. He's got a bandage or something. And so he's on third base. It is 11-5. Foster on top as they bat in the top of the sixth. Only one out. There's a pop-up. Marino going out. He's calling for it. He's got it. And a bluff to move home by Holchak, but he goes back. So there are two away, and Kempner might be in good shape to get out of this inning, allowing only one run. Anyway, when you go to Kilgore, you can't help but say you want to go to the Texas Oil and Gas Museum. Well, that's a great stop, too, but it was Easter weekend. We went to go there. It was closed. And then we went to the Broadcasters Museum. You don't have to have a career in broadcasting to care about it. If you have watched TV or listened to the radio, I mean, it's just incredible the relics they have in there. Moss ready to bring another pitch. And it is down and in as he works to Ryan Talley. Comes set. Brings the 1-0, and that hit him. Glancing blow off of the rib cage, and Talley picks up the ball and tosses it back to Moss. I wonder if he mumbled something to the freshman. Okay, so Holchak still over there at third. And now Coach Folkerts is out to talk to the home plate umpire, and Mick Tosh, the Foster coach, joins them. And now they're all laughing about something. All right. Yes, let's give the coaches a hand. All right, Hardcastle is coming up again, and Kempner fans can't be happy about seeing him. He's just been a problem for them. Not quite as much, actually, now that hold on. Not really, actually, sorry about that. He's got great numbers coming in, but he's 0 for 2, but he did draw a walk, which might mean he's due, and that could be trouble for the Cougars. Thomas Moss looks in, righty, working to righty. Here comes the first pitch, and that just missed his belt. He had to kind of do that jackknife move to get out of the way. Hardcastle, taller, I think, than Thomas Moss, even when Moss is standing on the mound. Here's the 1-0. And that hit him on the left elbow, and the bases are loaded. Okay. Got to take a big old deep breath. And so now Thomas Moss is going to face Coleman Biggs, the DH. But before he does, Drew Walker goes out there to talk him down from the ledge, possibly. And now Walker listens in on Mick Tosh talking to his assistant coach. That's a good move, as long as you smile when you make the move. But if you're wearing a catcher's mask, he may not know if you're smiling. You could offer a suggestion, which Coach Tosh might or might not think is amusing. Coleman Biggs. Kempner may have a chance to pull this one out if they can stop the bleeding right here, but with the bases loaded and one out, they got a problem. Big rip and a miss and a throw down to third. Safe. Holchak got back to third. He did not slide. Garcia tagged him on the shoulder, but his foot was already on the bag. 0-1 the count on Biggs. Walker wants an outside target. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Well, I wonder what Walker said to Moss his last time out to the mound, but it has worked for the first two pitches. Biggs, low, slow practice swing, started to pull the trigger on a pitch that was high. It's 1-2. Biggs is the DH. Batting for the Foster pitcher, Nick Johnson. He's the pitcher of record, on track for a win. Here's the 1-2. Spiking a splitter, and Walker keeps it in front. The count 2-2. You don't want to go to a 3-ball count when the bases are loaded like this. Boy, a double play would be nice. Moss working from the windup. 2-2 count, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. High pop in the air on the first base side. Jarno calling for it. And he's got it, falls down. Look out, Holchak doesn't come home from third, though. 2 away. You know, Jarno hardly had to move at all, but then when he caught it, he fell back on his tuchus. All right, Diego De Leon is going to come on and hit. By the way, De Leon, Texas is the home of the annual Peach and Melon Festival, where I once competed in the seed spitting contest. De Leon batting .227 on the season. Lefty swinger facing Thomas Moss. The infield now at normal depth with 2 away. Bases still loaded, though. The pitch to De Leon, swings and misses. Underneath. A fastball by Moss. And we know that as Moss keeps eating those Flintstones and cleaning his plate, that fastball will get faster. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. He's got De Leon down. Kempner trailing 11-5. They have 2 more at bats. They beat Foster 4-3 on Tuesday, but the Falcons have had their way so far tonight. They've out-hit Kempner 8-4, and Kempner has made 4 errors. It was an error in this inning that got Holchak to third. He's still there. Just missed the inside corner, and Moss started to walk off the mound, shaking his head. He's not happy. His what strut? Okay. The pitching engine strut. Okay, never mind. I'm not aware of the Rod Friedman. I'm more into Sidney Friedman, economics. The 1-2 pitch is low. It's 2-2. All right. Again, same situation when Moss went 2-2 on Biggs. You don't want to pitch with a ball 3 count, a 3-ball count, and the bases loaded. So it's 2-2. He rocks and fires. Just missed the outside corner at the knees, and now we go 3-2 with the bases loaded. The runners will get a head start. And it's De Leon, the pinch hitter. Lefty swinger. Moss rocks and fires. There go the runners. And it's down low for ball 4. A run scores to make it 12-5. Doggone it.
Right fielder number 9,
Jacob Ardoin. He's been a problem for the Cougars tonight. A 3-run homer in the third. That was the biggest singular blow of the game. Falcons leading it by a score of 12-5. Moss. Roxanne brings it. First pitch swinging and fouled back into the net. Moss ready to bring a next one. Here it comes. Ardoin looks at that one. It's a called strike. By the way, in the bottom of the 6th, Kempner will have Davey, Jarneau, and Walker due to hit. Ardoin holds the ball, the bat high behind his head. Looks at a pitch that's upstairs, and the count now 2-2. Ardoin, slightly open stance. Here comes the pitch. Curveball misses away, and now it's 2-2. I thought it was 2-2 prior to that pitch. And the home plate umpire makes that Richard Nixon double P sign that tells me it's 2-2. The pitch, and it's a line drive down the right field line. It drops in, and it's rolling toward the corner. This will score at least 2 runs. And it's a sliding double for Ardoin. And up the ante now at 14-5. And Foster's got to be thinking about run ruling this thing.
Center fielder number 2, Chase Cloud.
Now Chase Cloud. So how about that? A 3-run homer by Ardoin in the third. A 2-run double here in the 6th. Chase Cloud becomes the 9th Falcon to step into the batter's box in this top of the 6th. 2 runners in scoring position for him in a game that is already out of hand, 14-5. Pitch downstairs for a ball. Moss gets the sign, brings the 1-0, swing, and a foul straight back. Lee Kubash comes out of the on-deck area to come retrieve that ball. Just has not been Kempner's night. Pitch by Moss, breaking ball, deep fly ball to right center field, and it is going to get down and two-hop the wall. That'll bring home 2 more runs. It's a double for Cloud, and it is now 16-5, and Foster is in a position to run rule the Kempner Cougars on their home field. Consecutive 2-run doubles. And now I have to mark out the 7 at the top of the 7th column in my scorebook, and the 6th inning continues. Kubash is up as the Falcons are now batting around. Cloud still out there at second, so a runner in scoring position for Kubash. And it's a balk by Thomas Moss, so that will enable Cloud to go to third base. Well, at least it's not raining. You remember the movie Young Frankenstein? They were out digging a grave, swing and a miss. They were out digging a grave, Marty Feldman and Gene Wilder. And the Marty Feldman character says, "Could be Wes, could be raining." And then it rained, lightning struck, and it rained 1 second later. Here's the 0-1, foul back, and it's 0-2. Moss in a position to put an end to this nightmarish top of the 6th. Whole lot of crooked numbers on the board for the Foster Falcons in this game. 3 in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 6 in the 6th. Moss brings it. Swing and a miss. Walker has to pick up the ball and throw down to first. That completes the putout. Oh, boy, that was ugly. I just want to go to a commercial. It's 16-5, Foster.
First Tire and Automotive will shower you in savings in April. Make sure you're not caught saying the wrong S word when it starts raining because you can't see out of your windshield. Safety first to get you to and from the big game. Check out these great savings. Wiper blades, buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free on select Contour Beam windshield wipers. Purchase 4 select BF Goodrich, Goodyear, General, or Uniroyal tires with a premium installation package and wheel alignment and save $100. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
We want to thank the team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land, taking care of business for us every day so that we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. We brought you 3, sometimes 4. One week we even had 6 games. We've been killing it, and we know that you're enjoying it. Thank you very much for your support. New pitcher for Foster. It is Diego Sáenz. He has no wins or losses. And this is going to be his 9th appearance. He's thrown 11 innings. 12 hits allowed in those 11 innings. 13 runs allowed, 8 of those earned. He's walked 8, struck out 12. His ERA is 5.09, and his whip is 1.82. So Kempner needs to score 2 runs to just make this game go 7 innings. Michael Davey to lead it off, and then it'll be Cole Jarneau and Drew Walker if the hitters who are due hit for themselves. Science brings the first pitch. Davey looks at a pitch outside. Michael had a double in the 4th. Drove home a run with that one. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball in there. Davey, the son of a dentist, Dr. Paul Davey, whose wife kind of looked like Sandra Bullock. That's Heather. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Michael Davey trying to go for another extra base hit. Takes the batting helmet off. It's not a good night for Kempner, but Michael's having a good hair night, even when he has had a batting helmet on it. Here's the 1-2. Way outside. You know, Michael could have swung at that and made his way to first base because it was so wide of the catcher Capel, it squirted out, but it's 2-2. They haven't been able to keep Davey off the bases. He walked in his other plate appearance, and he sprays one to right field, and it's a beautiful catch by the first baseman, Jackson Lowe. Sprinting back, had a bead on it all the way. Little soft liner. No problem. One away, and Kempner again needs 2 runs to prolong the game. And Cole Jarneau comes up. Righty will be working to righty as Diego Saenz is the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Foster Falcons. He rocks in, brings the first one. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. It was a fastball, and Jarneau looks like he's in that mode that you sometimes get in when you're way behind late. You take until you get a strike, then you work from there. Here's the 0-1, rip and a miss. Foster fans are thinking they might go home happy, and that's a pretty good bet right now. Saenz, the right-hander, pitching out of the windup, but Jarneau asks for time. Adjusts the Velcro. Steps back in there. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and that was nasty, but it was out of the strike zone. 1-2. Good take by Jarneau. Stands near the front of the right-handed batter's box. Saenz delivers. Little tapper foul trickles behind home plate, and it's 1-2. Jarneau didn't start this game, but he came into play first base when the Cougars made their first pitching change. Saenz ready, brings the 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 away, and Kempner is down to its last out. Drew Walker is the last hope. I haven't heard that, I don't think, as Drew's walk-up song until now. Righty working to righty. Walker gets his first look at Saenz and rips at the first pitch and fouls it out of play to the right. Walker does like to step out of the box and make sure he's absolutely ready. Saenz ready. Brings the 0-1. And it's a ground ball towards short. Hardcastle boots it right through him, and Walker keeps it alive by reaching on the error. And that's the second error of the night for Foster. And now it is Thomas Moss. And Mick Tosh is going to come out there. He's walked past the mound. He's not going to talk to Diego Sáenz. I'm not sure what he wants to talk with Hardcastle about, but it's not just Hardcastle. He's got Ryan Talley and Lee Kubash out there. I don't know. You know, they could keep playing Baby Shark while the coach is out there. That would have been fun. Young Thomas Moss is 1 for 2 with a second inning single. Kempner scored 3 runs in that frame and tied it up 3-3, but ever since then it's just been all Foster. Diego Sáenz ready to work to him. Here's the first pitch, and it's a ground ball between third and short. A dive by Hardcastle. He knocks it down, but that's a base hit. Now back to the top of the order and see if the Cougars can push across a couple of runs, and we'll get another inning out of this. Walker stops at second. Moss at first, and now Cody Kuffel. Walked, hit a sacrifice fly, and got a single in inning number 5. Scored in that inning, by the way, on a double by Reichart. Here's the pitch, and he sprays it foul on the left side, and it lands on the tennis courts. Long night for the Cougars, but they'd like to at least put a few extra runs on the board. They're down 16-5. 2 runs is what it's going to take to make this go beyond 6 innings. Here's the 0-1, and that almost hit Kuffel. He said low bridge. Deep knee bend, and it's 1-1. Next pitch. Just missed the outside corner. Diego Sáenz still working, but the count now 2-1 on the leadoff hitter, Cody Kuffel. Trying to keep it alive for Anthony Marino and then Reichart and Garcia if they can get to those guys. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a ground ball towards second, backhanded by Talley, and he flips to second for the out. That ends the ball game. 16-5, the final score. We'll be back with the totals on VypeFortBend.com right after this.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care. The sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Are you ready?
Ready for anything. For what life throws at you, at your kids.
Are they ready to study, research, write papers?
To do all the amazing things they don't even know they're capable of yet.
Internet Essentials from Comcast brings affordable, high-speed internet to your home for only $9.95 a month. Now available to low-income households eligible for public assistance programs like Medicaid, the National School Lunch Program, SNAP, housing assistance, and others. Visit InternetEssentials.com to apply. No credit check, contract, or installation fee. Taxes, extra restrictions apply.
This VypeFortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County Baseball has been brought to you tonight by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud supporter of Fort Bend and Greater Houston High School sports on VypeFortBend.com. With the new Xfinity Sports Zone app, watch multiple games at once and check live stats and scores while watching another game. It's the best sports entertainment experience with Xfinity X1. And by First Tire and Automotive. Make sure your vehicles are in shape for the spring. First Tire and Automotive has locations in First Colony, Greatwood, Katy Cinco Ranch, and on Eldridge Road in Sugar Land. And all 4 of those locations are open on Saturdays. For the best prices on tires, go to firsttireandauto.com. During the month of April, you can get $100 off a set of 4 new tires. Well, we got softball tomorrow, Kempner and Foster, and that will start at 1:30. We'll bring that to you on VypeFortBend.com. We also have a Tuesday night baseball game, George Ranch visiting the Travis Tigers. But let's talk about this one because the Foster Falcons certainly deserve a lot of props. Wow, what a ball game they played, bouncing back after a tough loss on Tuesday night that was 4-3. So Foster with 16 runs on 10 hits. They made 2 errors, and this is remarkable. They only left 3 runners on base. For Kempner, 5 runs on 5 hits. They made 4 errors, and just about all of them were somewhat costly, and they left 5 runners on base. The winning pitcher tonight, Nick Johnson, who came in after Harmony started, and Nate Jacobson takes the loss for the Kempner Cougars. And the big blows in this game for these Foster Falcons, they got a 3-run homer, and it came off of the bat of Jacob Ardoin. 3-run homer that came in the 3rd, and they also got a 2-run double from Ardoin when they batted in the 6th. And let's see, there's one other homer, the 2-run shot that came in the 4th off the bat of Hayden Holchak, who went 4 for 4, and he scored 3 runs. Wow. He was a serious problem for the Kempner Cougars. So Kempner's got to get back on that horse. All is not lost. They fall to a record of 9-3 in district play, and depending on what Fulshear did, they might be tied with the Chargers for second place in the district, and Foster, with its win tonight, improves to 9-1. Terry going into tonight's play and Angleton were both 6-3. So for everyone on the Vype team, we thank you for joining us. 16-5 was our final score as Foster run rules the Kempner Cougars. And we'll be back with you tomorrow at 1:30 for the first pitch in the softball game between these 2 schools. Roger Smith saying good night from Kempner. Thanks for being with us.